Intro scene, the file. It was nearly midnight in the city of Durnbridge when the envelope arrived. Detective Alan Voss had long since sent his officers home. Rain painted streaks down the cracked windows of the precinct, and the glow of a desk lamp cast long, lonely shadows across Case Division. 3B. Voss leaned back in his chair, nursing the bottom of a stale cup of coffee, when he noticed it. An unmarked manila envelope sitting on top of his case folder. He hadn't heard anyone enter. The doors were locked. The halls were quiet. In bold red ink across the front, it read, Case number 17. B. Do not pursue. His breath caught. Case 17. B was a ghost, a whispered name in the basement archives. Officers transferred, files deleted, people missing. Yet, here it was, sitting on his desk like it never left. He opened it. Inside were 4 things. A single photo of a girl, about 12 years old, black and white, eyes wide with fear. A map of Willowmere, an orphanage burned down in 1987. A medical examiner's report, no name, just Jane Doe. Cause of death, unknown. And a handwritten note. She's not dead, but she remembers everything. Chapter 1. The Cold Room. Detective Voss was no stranger to strange. He'd solved ritual murders, corrupt politicians, and once uncovered a trafficking ring disguised as a rehab center. But this file smelled different. It reeked of cover-ups. He ran the girl's photo through facial recognition. No results, not even a partial match. So he visited records. The basement of the precinct was colder than he remembered. Rows of dusty filing cabinets stood like tombstones. When he typed Case 17B into the system, the screen blinked red. Access restricted, cleared level 5 only. He wasn't surprised. Level 5 clearance meant federal. Still, there were back doors. He found the old paper logs. Case 17B was opened in April 1987, 2 weeks before the fire at Willowmere Orphanage. It was assigned to Officer John Thorne, his father's old partner. John Thorne went missing 2 days after the fire, declared dead, but Voss remembered the name from family whispers, Eliza Thorne, his daughter, the girl in the photo. Chapter 2. The Ashes of Willowmere. The next morning, Voss drove out to the edge of the city where Willowmere once stood. It was now a fenced-off wasteland, with only a crumbling chimney and shattered stone steps leading to nowhere. But something was off. The site wasn't just abandoned, it was watched. As he walked the grounds, Voss noticed small recent footprints. Not from animals, barefoot, child-sized. Behind the ruins, he found a cellar door. Half-buried, rusted shut. After an hour of wrenching and prying, he forced it open and descended into blackness. The air was thick, cold, wet. He turned on his flashlight. On the walls were crude drawings, scratched in with nails, dozens of them, all of the same girl. Wide eyes, mouth open, screaming. At the far end of the cellar, carved deep into the concrete, were the words, "She's still here." Chapter 3. The Woman in Room 11. Voss returned to the city and found the only surviving staff member from Willowmere, Agnes Farrow, now residing in a psychiatric facility. She'd gone silent after the fire and hadn't spoken in 38 years, but when he mentioned Eliza Thorne, she screamed. After she calmed down, Voss showed her the photo. Her eyes welled up with tears. She whispered, "That girl was never born. She was made." He asked her what she meant. "She came from the basement, from the man in black. They told us to say she died, but she didn't. She walked away from the fire." "Where did she go?" Voss asked. Agnes leaned forward, trembling. "She never left." Chapter 4. Files that Rewrite Themselves. That night, Voss returned to his apartment and laid out the pieces of the puzzle on his wall. but every time he closed his eyes, he saw her, Eliza, standing at the edge of a hallway, staring at him. He looked through the old reports again. Something had changed. The ME report now said, subject deceased at 12:07 a.m., April 18, 1987. Earlier, it said unknown. He checked his digital files. The note was missing. In its place was a new message, scrawled on the back of the photo. You were there too. Chapter 5. The Memory That Shouldn't Exist. Voss couldn't sleep. He began to have dreams, no memories, of being at Willowmere. A little boy, hiding in the hall, watching fire pour down the stairs, hearing screams, and Eliza whispering, "Don't forget me." He asked his mother. She denied he was ever there. But when he showed her the photo of Eliza, she turned white. "Alan," she said, "you had an imaginary friend once. You called her Eliza. After the fire, you stopped talking for almost a year." Chapter 6. The Truth Beneath the Fire. Everything pointed back to Willowmere, so Voss went one last time with ground-penetrating radar and a forensic crew. Underneath the old cellar, they found a room. Concrete walls, chains, crates of audio tapes marked conditioning trials, and a burned journal with the initials JT. It described an experiment, testing fear, memory implantation, and psychic conditioning on orphaned children, funded by something called the Delphi Program. Eliza was Subject 0, the only one who survived. Final chapter, The Girl at the End of the Hall. Voss never filed the report. The federal agents arrived within 24 hours and sealed the site. Every photo, note, and item from Case 17B was taken. His copy of the photo? Gone. The wall with his evidence? Blank. His voice recorder had one final entry. She's still out there. I don't know how. I don't know what she is now. But she remembers me. She always did. I think she wants me to remember her, too. Epilogue, Tape 17B. 3 months later, a podcast received a package. Inside was an unmarked cassette tape labeled simply 17B. It contained only one sentence. A girl's voice. Software. Gentle. Familiar. You found me, Alan. Now I'll never leave you.